Liverpool 1, Wolves nil, and Liverpool walk out of 2019. Top of the table, 13 points clear, and if anything, to be honest with you, if I'm completely honest with you, that game probably should have finished 1-1. I truly believe it should have, and that's not me just blowing smoke up, Wolves' arses or whatever or anything like that. That VAR decision to take that goal away from them was pretty difficult. Like, I know it's sort of consistent when you see, when we've had Bobby Firmino have, or I think it was Mané had a goal disallowed because Bobby Firmino had an armpit offside and all this sort of stuff. There's been instances this weekend where that's happened, where armpits are being involved and, millimetres of hands and fingers and stuff like that. And when Graham Souness on Sky Sports was talking about what should be allowed to be considered offside in terms of body parts and stuff like that, like hands when people are trying to run, because if you set off running, or you're running from trying to set up a move or whatever like that, you're never going to be stood up straight. You're going to be stood at an angle, and your arms are a lot to do with that. Your arms are a lot to do with offset, getting setting off your momentum to start running. So you can't just start from a stood upright position with your arms by your sides and all this sort of business. But yeah, other than that, I'm very happy we got the win. I really am. It's unfortunate for Wolves. It really is unfortunate for Wolves, and I do feel for them because they at least deserved a point out of that game. They've probably given us one of the hardest games. Take out any Champions League games or anything like that. They've probably given us one of our hardest games that we've had all season, and it was very competitive. Very competitive. If I even just go and have a quick look at the stats, possession wise, we controlled possession, but that we had similar chances. Like, we had one more shot in total. We had one more shot on target. We made equal amounts of saves. Obviously, the one that they didn't save was Sadio Mane's goal. And it was a brilliant goal. Adam Lallana, for all of his criticisms that he sometimes gets, and even sometimes from me, I was wondering why he was starting yesterday over Naby Keita. But that man worked his arse off. He worked his arse off, and he did very, very well yesterday. He tired a little bit in the second half, which is why I can understand why he got taken off, and Naby Keita came on, injected a bit more life into the midfield, because we were losing that battle for quite a long time in the second half. But I truly felt that Adam Lallana did really well, played his part as a squad player exceptionally well, and when he got that assist, comes off his shoulder, rightly, comes off more of the pec and the shoulder more than the arm or anything like that. So he did that very well, got that. Mane comes in and instinctively puts it in the back of the net, and 1-0. 1-0. That was one VAR call that, I thought that was good. That is also someone that sometimes would get given as a handball, and this is where the consistency issues come in for VAR, because there will be some people and some teams that will have had that decision where it's hit the shoulder and it'll get given as a handball, and that's not right. So I totally empathise and sympathise with anybody that turns around and says, well, we had a decision like that and it got given as handball. It's like, mate, I agree with you. It shouldn't be handball. I felt that we got the right decision yesterday, but loads of people will turn around and say, well, we've had it go against us where it gets given as a handball. What's so special about you guys? I don't know. In that regard. When I look at the VAR table, there's a VAR table that goes around Twitter every now and again, updates, and I think we've had one call or so, which is in our favour. We're not top of that table and we're not bottom of it. The team that's bottom of it is Sheffield United, and they are getting screwed over left, right and centre by VAR, and that's not fair. They even had an instance against Man City where, VAR rules out what I felt was a perfectly good goal, but it was similar to the Wolves goal that was disallowed because of a very, very marginal offside, and then somehow the ball comes off the referee or something like that, and it leads to a goal for Man City for 2-0. And I always thought, well, hang on, if it comes off the referee, I thought it was meant to be a drop ball. That's what I thought. But again, that's not consistent. And, whoever's top, I think it's Brighton at top of the table for VAR overturns, which in their favour, or something like that. So people keep turning around saying, Liverpool, Liverpool. And it's like, well, actually, up until yesterday, I think we were on 0. So I think we're maybe +1 now, but even then, there's so many more teams that have benefited from VAR than us. It's just the fact that we are sat top of the table, which sometimes we're playing really well. Sometimes we have to battle and grind like we did yesterday, and we're getting the results that we need. We're still, we're in the Champions League, we're in the FA Cup, we've won the Club World Cup this year, the UEFA Super Cup as well. I mean, we're still competitive in most competitions. Carabao Cup, no one cares about. So we're out of that one, and that wasn't really our fault that we had to sort of throw that one in a way, or put out the kids in that one, because they wouldn't allow us to play appropriate times in both competitions, Club World Cup and Carabao Cup. So we had to do one or the other, essentially. Otherwise, I firmly believe we'd still be in all competitions. So we're doing really well right now. That team yesterday was fantastic. Is there a better centre-back than Virgil van Dijk? Not just at defending, but long balls. Genuinely. Long balls. Those balls that he fires forward is ridiculous. And it brings me back to what he did against Bayern Munich in the Champions League when he fired that ball up front to Mané. I think, that was the first goal that we scored in that game. I think it might have been. Same again yesterday. He fires the ball up front. Lallana gets it. Sadio Mane, bang, it's a goal. He's got unbelievable passing range. Unbelievable. We talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold all the time, and rightfully so. He's a fantastic player, and the way he plays the ball is ridiculous. But Virgil van Dijk deserves massive plaudits for that as well. Alisson, fantastic in goal. I think the whole back line in general. Joe Gomez is getting a lot of plaudits as well, and again, I would say rightfully so. But yeah, I think Joe Gomez is getting man of the match. Man of the match, and deservedly so. There were a couple of hairy moments where I felt that he wasn't going to... If he didn't have his pace, we probably would have been, maybe we would have actually maybe conceded a couple more goals, because the team would have got in behind him. But he has got that pace, thankfully, and he was able to get himself back and make tackles, get the ball back, etc., etc. I actually felt in the second half that, not that he was, Joe Gomez was overall man of the match, but when Naby Keita came on in the second half, Naby Keita helped us calm down a little bit. Things were getting a bit frantic in the midfield. We were losing that midfield battle quite a bit. Kind of looked like, all right, we were still controlling possession, but Wolves seemed to be doing a bit more with their possession than we were. Whenever they had the ball, they were dangerous, and it seemed to be having Naby Keita come on for Lallana just helped us a little bit get a bit more control back in the midfield. We didn't have total control over it, and obviously less so when they brought the absolute tank in Adama Traore. When they brought him on, he was a bit more dangerous, a bit more threatening going forward. I think he even had the last chance of the game for Wolves as well, and missed it. There were plenty of times for Wolves where they were skying the ball. If they just had a little bit more composure, they could have got those shots on target, maybe caused a bit more trouble for us. But overall, we won the game 1-0. We now sit, again, as I said, 55 points from 57. 55 points from 57 already. 18 wins, 1 draw. And what I will be doing, obviously, we're walking out of 2019 now, and it's going to be New Year pretty soon, obviously. On Wednesday, I believe it is. If I've got my days right. My days aren't always right. What I will be doing is sort of like either a 2019 review of Liverpool, or just, a 2019 in review, or a half-season review, because we have now officially played our 19 games, which is halfway through the season. And then probably tie it into a shape of the top 6 video as well. But honestly, It was a hard game to watch yesterday, but they're not always going to be beautiful. And we walk out of there with the 3 points. We walk out of there, still unbeaten at Anfield, like still unbeaten in the league this year. I still don't believe that we can go invincible, but I think it's more, let's just pick up the points and see where we are, like by March, April, May. Let's see where we are by those points. Keep picking up the points as and when we can. Just keep going forward, not focusing on being unbeaten or being invincible or any of that sort of stuff. Not even being like, oh my god, we're not thrashing teams, we're not putting teams away, we're not scoring 4 or 5 goals every game. It's picking up the points and moving forward. That's what we've got to focus on, and that's what we did yesterday. We absolutely battered Leicester 4-0, and then Wolves really gave us a very tough game, but we grinded it out. We're able to do all kinds of ways of winning, and that is fantastic for Liverpool and Liverpool fans alike. Let me know if you've enjoyed this video. Please do like it and subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. Get your thoughts and comments down below. We can have a discussion about almost anything. But for now, I will catch you later. And if I don't do a video before New Year, I hope everybody has a happy New Year, however you're spending it. And whatever you plan to do in 2020, just enjoy yourselves. Be positive if you can, and just do something for yourself that makes you feel happy. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.